I finally had some more time to play with the Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo's next generation console that I only got my hands on a day before release, and I was very curious what else it could do. Well, so far, there are a couple of things I really love and a couple I really don't, and a few that I still want to see more of. So let's get into it. So first of all, what I love about the Switch 2, its display, 7.9 inches, 1080p. I really appreciate it because I can finally see more of the screen, and it's got a fast refresh rate, and it also has HDR, which I don't really totally notice, but I think it's the best display that Nintendo's had on a handheld. Yes, I think it's better than the OLED display. It's missing a little bit of that OLED vibrancy, but whatever. Generally, it's much better. I also really love the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are bigger, they've got better haptics that I actually can feel the difference on, and it feels a little more like the PlayStation, DualSense controllers. They snap in and out really easily, and that's really nice for taking it out of the dock and putting it back in the dock. And I just like that they feel a little more pro. They do not have analog triggers, but I'm willing to forgive that. I also kind of love that mouse mode with the Joy-Cons. These things can turn into optical mice when you put them on a surface, and it turns out pretty much any surface. I really underestimated how well they work on just about anything, and I don't really know what games I would use it for yet, but the fact that I could use it while sitting down or while flying or not in front of a desk really changed my perception on what these things can do. And the other thing I love about the Switch 2, well, this is pretty obvious, but it's updated graphics. I've started to really appreciate them even more in the past week because I've been mostly playing Mario Kart World because who wouldn't be? But I've also been dipping my toes into some of the other games, Cyberpunk 2077, Street Fighter 6, some of the updated games like Splatoon 3, and things just look better. They're not as good docked into a TV as a PlayStation 5, but they're better in a dock than you would get out of a Steam Deck. And to me, it's really approaching this like I would play some of these big games on this system, but I want to see how much farther things can go. Right now, it's super promising, but there aren't that many games to take advantage of. So one thing I'm not wild about is the storage situation. So there's 256 gigabytes of storage built into the Switch 2, which sounds like a lot until you realize that a lot of the new games have much larger storage sizes. I mean, your mileage is going to vary. Some games are still a couple of gigs, but games like Cyberpunk are 60 gigs, Split Fiction is 69 gigs. There are games that are 48, 40, 20. I mean, this is getting into larger console territory, and you can eat up the 256 gigabytes really fast. I went out and bought an expansion card, which is only available for the Switch 2 in a micro SD express format. So not all micro SD cards work, and that express format is new, and they're very hard to buy right now. And they don't make very high capacities. Those that do are super expensive. So I bought a 256, put it into the Switch 2, and filled it almost instantly as well. Because, at 50 gigs a pop, if you're downloading them, that's not gonna get you very far on 256. So keep that in mind, and yes, if you have a lot of games, you're gonna wanna get a microSD express card. And the other thing that I'm on the fence about is GameChat. GameChat is a big exclusive feature on the Switch 2. You press a C button to start it, and this thing basically starts like a little audio hangout party with optional camera if you plugged in the Switch camera. And you don't have to all be playing the same game. We gave it a test at CNET to check it out. I'm here with James, Sean, and Faith, and we're all game chatting together. It supports 4 people at once with video and audio. We're up to 12 if you want to have all audio. We're all setting up USB cameras. Well, most of us. Faith is doing it with just audio. So, I mean, you could all just be playing different things and chatting. And the game sharing of the screens is just to sort of show you what you're doing. It's low res and low frame rate. And it's just meant to give you a sense of like, oh, okay, I can make out enough. Can basically make out what hand James is doing in his, or like what track Sean is playing, or whatever is going on in Hello Kitty. But enough you could talk it through to people, but it's not designed to be for gameplay.
I'm happy that I'm not having any slowdown from the actual game itself, even though I've got 4 cameras down here at the bottom, and they are low res, like you say, but everybody's moving and everybody's interacting, but the actual game I'm playing is not slowing down or skipping anything, so that's really good.
Yeah, I think the Mario Kart we're looking at is a good example of how low the frame rate is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can see that you're racing, but it's almost like a GIF quality,
Can you guys hear like the fan behind me? Like we can't. I know I can't hear each other's game.
You can't hear the fan, and you would know that if you played Welcome Tour, because the microphone cancels out specifically the fan noise, so someone didn't do their homework.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. Has anyone got $10?
Yeah, exactly. Could lend you some welcome tour money.
And you can also enable the text-to-speech, which works pretty well, and it'll actually, if you swear, it will show up.
Will it say Oh yeah, it will.
I mean, Tomodachi Life would, so.
And I mean, what is Mario Kart without cursing? That's just not Mario Kart as far as I'm concerned.
Definitely see how this would have been great during, like Animal Crossing, like turnip trading times.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually in like a chat when I'm playing games. I do a lot of multiplayer, but we're typically not watching each other's screens.
It feels like I'm watching a bunch of Twitch streamers, and I just happen to be one of the Twitch streamers, you know, and it's quite interactive like that. It's quite fun. If I'm playing with a gaming group like Sean, I'm playing hard and I'm playing fast, and this is just a distraction that it's not going to bring anything to me for those kind of games. But the Nintendo doesn't do those kind of games. Like this is a lot more family friendly, a lot more, you know. So if you're away from home and you can still dial in to play with your kids and you can see them having fun on the screen, that's value added in a way that we don't need as like hardcore, you know, like gamers.
Game chat can be distracting, and I'm not a big chat while gaming person, but my kids are. And will people who chat in games choose to just go with Discord or something else instead? We'll have to find out. I'm also curious where Nintendo will take this game chat feature in other games, like the sort of Jackbox party type scenario. So far, battery life has been a disappointment. It's about 2 hours to maybe 3 hours. It's definitely a dip down compared to the other Nintendo Switch models. It reminds me of the Nintendo 3DS, when after the DS and its long battery life, the 3DS really had to dip down in exchange for better graphics. Nintendo comes out with new consoles in the handheld territory about once every 2 years, so I kind of feel like there may be something 2 years from now that could address this. The question you have as a parent or anyone else is, are you okay with that lower battery life, or do you want to wait it out 2 years? I kind of feel like Nintendo is going to take a while to build out its Switch 2 library. I don't think it's going to take 2 years to do that, but it may take a year for them to really build up some stuff that makes it feel like you really want to take the leap forward. And that's the thing, we're only about a couple of weeks into the Switch 2. I don't think we'll really know what this system can do until months and months from now. You know, I'll check back in the holidays and see what it's like, and I'm going to be playing all the games. But I think right now, if you bought one, it's a great system to play around with, but it does have drawbacks, and I think you're just as well justified keeping the Switch you have, playing games for it, enjoying the longer battery life, and then waiting a bit more to see what the Switch 2 has in store. I hope that helped, and I'm going to have more thoughts on the Switch 2 because I'm going to keep playing it. If you have any questions or other concerns, let me know below in the comments, and thanks for watching.